An update on the Broward School Board and one of its elected members, Rod Velez, who has not been sworn in because of a past felony, might be closer to taking a seat on the board.
Today, a judge determined Velez will not face any criminal charges for filing to run for the school board, despite not having his full rights restored. CBS 4's Joe Gorchow spoke to Velez today and joins us live with what he had to say. Joe.
Elliot, Lauren, good evening to you both. Rod Velez hopes today's court ruling clears the path to serve his elected position. However, one legal obstacle still remains. Velez spoke exclusively with us this afternoon to discuss what that next step is before he could be sworn in to become an official Broward County School Board member.
A little stressful, I won't lie to you.
Rod Velez overcame two legal obstacles in 24 hours, each centered around one point. Was he eligible to run for public office?
I wholeheartedly felt that I was able to serve with just my Amendment 4 voting rights being restored.
Velez faced a legal challenge disputing his qualifications from a felony conviction in 1994.
That spurred a criminal investigation wherein it was alleged that he engaged in an oath that he shouldn't have taken.
The state attorney's office declined on Tuesday to file a criminal charge. Documents state a Florida law change in 2018 restored a felon's right to vote if they met certain conditions. Velez had his rights restored that year. Prosecutors said Velez maintained that on June 13, 2022, he truly believed that he was eligible to run for public office.
If you have the right to vote, you should be able to vote for yourself if you run for office.
And on Wednesday, a judge dismissed a case disputing his qualifications to represent District 1 as the elected school board member.
The public spoke. I was a clear winner, and to not be able to sit on the dais up there with my other colleagues is disheartening.
During the state prosecutor's investigation, they determined this week that he did not have his full rights restored and could not hold office without clemency from the state. School board chair Lori Alhadeff would welcome Velez if he's cleared to be sworn in.
I hope for Rod's constituents that he does get to be in that position. However, it's really up to Governor DeSantis.
I've also been told that the governor was going to see the outcome of today's hearing and then perhaps grant that clemency.
I just believe that moving forward, things are going to be great.
So there's potentially some time sensitivity to this situation. When I spoke with Gottlieb, Velez's lawyer, he pointed out a state law that requires an elected official to be sworn in 30 days after an election is certified. The deadline for Velez would be tomorrow. Joe Gorchow, CBS 4 News Tonight.